$10,000, 10 G's, 10 stacks. That's where I'm at right now. I started this with just $400 not that long ago, flipping cars. I just sold my Trailblazer SS and now I have $10,000 to go to the auction today, and I'm thinking something Jeep Wrangler, and I'm gonna take you guys with me. So we're gonna go auction hunting for some Jeep Wranglers today and see what we can come up with. Let's get started. So hey, my name is Craig. Welcome to Flying Wheels. A few months ago, I started a project where I wanted to build a business, but I've already built my business. So I wanted to do something fun. So I took $400 as an initial investment, just like I started my original business. I took that $400 and I bought a $400 car. From that $400 car, I'm gonna rattle through this really quickly. I bought a Chevy Malibu. I sold that Chevy Malibu. I bought a Honda Accord and Mercury Milan. I sold the Mercury Milan and the Honda Accord, and I bought a Chevy Equinox and a Cadillac SRX. Both had bad transmissions. I sold the Cadillac SRX and I bought a Chevy Trailblazer SS. I sold the Chevy Equinox and I took that money and I put it into the Trailblazer SS. I sold the Trailblazer SS for $10,000. So from the original $400 investment, I now have $10,000, and I'm gonna go to the auction with you guys today. I'm gonna take you with me, and we're gonna do some Jeep Wrangler hunting. Have you ever wondered what a Jeep Wrangler was worth at a dealer-only auction? Well, that's one of the videos that actually started this channel, and I'm gonna take you along with me again today to go to a dealer auction to see if we can find some Jeep Wranglers. Are they gonna be duds? Are they gonna be winners? Are we gonna make some money? Are we gonna lose some money? We have no idea. That's part of the fun with it, but I'm taking you along for the ride. Let's head to the auction. So we're at the auction. I have $10,000 to spend, and I'm really feeling a Jeep build. I haven't built a Jeep Wrangler in a few months. It's the off season, so we should be able to score it pretty cheap. The only thing is I wanna move fast on these flips to a Ferrari, so I can't really wait until the spring to capitalize on what they're really worth. So I'm gonna have to buy it cheap, but I'm also gonna have to sell it cheap. So we have to hunt down some Jeep Wranglers today for our Ferrari flip. I'm also in the market for a new truck for the business. My accountant said I have to go buy myself a new truck, so I'm here for two reasons. But this video is all about looking for that Jeep Wrangler. Let's go hunt him down. Here's a 97 TJ with 168,000 miles. Now this will be far under that $10,000 mark, but these are kind of beaters. I'm not really big fans, and they're getting dated. So up in the north, we get a lot of rust. Actually, you can even see the rust flaking on the ground, so it's not really something I'm interested in. Plus, I have 10 G's to spend, so I can get something nicer than this. Now, having $10,000 and spending it on one car really doesn't make sense. I shouldn't blow my wad on one car. In this business, I want to start with one car, work to two, two to four, four to eight, eight to 16, and so on and so on. But I don't have time to buy 5 cars for $2,000 in this series. I need to focus on one car at a time because I still have a business to run. So the rest of the business is making money. Meanwhile, we're also doing these Ferrari flips, so I can't really buy multiple cars. So if you're doing it on your own, you should be buying multiple cars, not blowing your entire wad on one vehicle hoping it's a win. And you should also not gamble on one car either. If that one car goes bad, you're out of luck. You basically have to start from beginning again. But in this series, I'm gonna go car to car. It's gonna take me a little bit longer because I can make $2,000 on 3 cars, and that cost me 10 grand, versus $2,000 to $3,000 on one car that cost me 10 grand. So I can make more money buying multiple cars than buying one car, if that makes sense to you. But that's not what I'm doing. Well, here's what I'm thinking. $10,000-ish should buy me some type of JK. So here is a 13 with 89,000 miles. That's definitely gonna be more than $10,000. But I still think I can afford like an 08, 09, 10 JK. So let's go look for those. I spy a lifted JK right here. So is this a Rubicon? It is a Rubicon, at least it says it on the fenders. It does have the rock rails, which the Rubicon has. It says it here. Looks like a rough country lift kit. 35-inch tires. They are dry rotted, so they need tires. Not at all a fan of this front push bar because of this gaping gap right here. That looks pretty terrible. Lots of upgrades. This thing needs some work. This is a great project if I can buy this thing right. Ugh. Red. Does have the old interior because it's a 10. Let's see how many miles. It's a 10 with 82,000 miles. So we got low miles. This might be more than $10,000. This is probably like a $12,500 Jeep. Old interior, 3.8 liter engine. Now let me explain the differences in Jeep Wranglers. In the JKs, 2011 Jeep upgraded the interior to the newer interior. 2012, they upgraded the engine to the 3.6 liter, which has more horsepower, smaller displacement, better gas mileage, supposedly far more reliable than the 3.8, although I've never really had any problems with the 3.8. So this is a 3.8 old interior Rubicon. What's nice about this though, power windows, radio's gone. Power windows, axle lock, electronic sway bar. These things are pretty nasty. So I scanned the VIN, no accidents. I should be around 12.5, so this might be out of my budget. I don't really know, but it's so ugly. I might do well on it because it's so ugly. What do we have for lights on the dash? It started up, that's a good sign. We have a check engine light, an exhaust, and a little bit of engine noise up front. No knocking, just a little kind of squeal. I wonder what that check engine light's on for. I didn't bring my scan tool. But look at this. This is why you prep things appropriately prior to painting. This is all orange peel because nobody prepped it. They just taped it off and spray painted it with like a single coat, and it kept building up and reacting to the toxins on the plastic. So normally you'd want to sand this smooth and then prep it with a Prep-Sol or some type of alcohol-based cleaner to wipe all this down. It's here, it's here. That says a lot about the previous owner. I'm gonna cross my fingers on this one. Want to see the biggest fake that almost made me cry? Watch this. This, you can see, has a ton of mods. Deep dish wheels, wide body kit. Ready for the track, right? No, watch this. After all that work, this is an automatic. Talk about your all-time biggest lies. Such a disappointment. So if you saw my Cummins build, you know I have an F350 that would make a great Cummins swap project. It would make great content for you guys. I'm gonna have to learn how to do it because I know barely anything about diesels. But this right here is an 07 Power Stroke. That's the 6-liter. And what I was told was you can bulletproof these engines. I thought they were the worst engines ever built. Turns out my 6.4 is the worst engine ever built. Go figure. But these were pretty terrible as well. Here is an 07 Power Stroke. Fisher plow setup. Decent wheels. Somebody coated the entire frame. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. And the bed must have been so rotted that they replaced it with this, but I kind of like it. But I like what they did with it. The idea is what I want to do with my F350. It's a good looking truck. They did the upgraded stereo that I want. It's a cool looking rig. And it's kind of getting me motivated on my F350 now. And I like this bed. But mine's a dually. So if you've watched my Cummins swap video, I have an 08 F350 dually that needs an engine. And I'm really debating on doing a Cummins swap on it. But this truck has a 6.0 that's been bulletproof with 550 horsepower. I don't know what's involved in swapping a 6.0 out of swapping a 6.4 and a 6.0. I don't know if it'll even work. That is a mean looking engine. Pop, I picked on this truck a little while ago. Turns out I know the owner, and that everything he wrote on the window is legit. The motor is 32,000 miles on it. Stage 3 turbo, tuner, EGR, delete, no cats, bulletproofed engine. It's a 6.0 though. He wants $4,600 for it. $4,600, I can't buy this engine for that price. So the truck has 250,000 miles, meaning it is literally driven to the moon. But the engine having 32,000 on it, that's a horse of a different color. Have I used that line yet? I don't know what's involved. I don't know what's involved in doing a 6.0 swap into a 6.4 truck. I just don't know enough about diesels to know if this is even a thing. I'm gonna have to call my guy and find out.
Hello?
Hey Sean, I need to pick your brain for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm in an 05 F350, so a 6.0.
Yeah.
Thing has 250,000 miles, but the engine has 36,000 on it. Stage 3 turbo, whatever that means, a tuner, cat, EGR delete, and no cats. I was told the engine was bulletproof by a guy that does these engines. I'm going off word of mouth completely, but let's just assume everything is accurate. Can this 6.0 be swapped into my 08?
Not ideally. There'd be a lot of wiring because there's no kits for that.
There's no kit to put a 6.0 in a 6.4 or swap a 6.4. All right, so this probably isn't the ideal project for us then?
No.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
See ya. This might do it right here. 07 JK, 141,000 miles. This should be under 10K and give me a little bit of a buffer to put some money into it. It's a little beat up though. That doesn't stay up. Cracked windshield, missing the carpets. This one's not so much of a project as much as it is a beater. It looks great from the outside. It has good tires and a lift kit. Those look like 35s with a lift. Would love it, but there's no way this is going to be in my price range. Now here's the one I really want, the mecca of Jeep Wranglers. I want a Stormtrooper Wrangler. I've had them in the JKs. I want it in the new ones. 19 Rubicon, triple white. Oh, it's not triple white. The fenders are black, but whatever. Red stitched nav. Oh, this thing is so nice. This is going to be $40,000+ though. Eventually. We'll keep going with this series, and eventually I'll hit that $40,000 mark, and maybe I'll grab one. Well, that's all the Jeeps for the day. Let's head into the auction and see what we come up with. Maybe one day, but not in this video. That was a $45,000 Jeep, even at auction. Well, that's a damn shame. This is a 16 with 36,000 miles. That somebody spent money to rhino line this entire thing, and it's like dead flat black. That sucks.
2 hours later.
Here's my first buy of the day, completely unrelated to my flipping $400 for Ferrari, even though this would have been the perfect purchase for this. This is an 07 Honda Accord with 155,000 miles. After it's clean and detailed, I'm easily going to get over $5,000 for it. I paid $2,800, $2,500. Has brand new snow tires, and it's pretty clean. This is how it showed up. Want to know how you've been driving on a flat tire too long? That is how you know you've been driving on a flat tire for too long. Well, I did end up buying this Jeep Wrangler, 2010 Wrangler, 82,000 miles, lift kit, 35-inch tires, front bumper's done, rear bumper's done, pretty ugly, fenders have been done. This thing's gonna need some work. Oh man, that sounds awful. Want to know what stinks? And I swear it wasn't doing this when I tested it out before. Now you hear it? Now you don't. That's the clutch. When I push the clutch in, it makes that noise. But unfortunately, I went over my budget. I spent $10,520 on this, and I only came here to spend $10,000. So I actually can't include this one in the $400 Ferrari flip because it needs work, and with work comes money. I'm gonna have to put some money into this, and I've already blown my wad. I spent $10,520 when I'm only supposed to spend $10,000. I can't afford to repair this thing. I can't afford to fix this thing, so I can't use it. But wait, I figured out a loophole. I also bought, no, not this one, an 07 with 141,000 miles, great 35-inch tires, lift kit, grill. It's a Wrangler X, 07 Wrangler X with 140,000 miles. I only paid $8,000 for that one, so I paid $8,000 for that, which leaves $2,000 in any repairs that I need for that Jeep, and it's still way undervalued. That's easily a $12,500 Jeep retail, so I should do really, really well depending on what it needs. Oh man, look what I missed. I didn't even see this here. This is an 05 Wrangler Unlimited Rubicon. These are known as the holy grail of Jeep Wranglers. Extended length 2 doors with the reliable inline 6-cylinder Rubicon 2 with locking differentials and sway link. Even as a beater with 204,000 miles, these things are worth so much money. Hey, it's blinking at me. No rear seats. One owner. Man, that's a good dent, and that's body. That's structural. Common rust problems right here. But even rusty, even rotted, even with 200,000 miles, these things are worth crazy amounts of money because they only made them for 2.5 years and you can't really find them. That would have been a fun project to build, and I bet a real money maker. But there's an S on the windshield, meaning it's sold, so I missed out on that one. I looked at this one and I knew it was rough. What did you just say?
4x4, no radio.
I knew the radio was missing. I didn't know it had no 4x4. Obviously, I didn't test this one out well enough. So this one, so here's my take for the day. I got this 10 Wrangler Rubicon with 82,000 miles. This is our $400 flip right here. The Ferrari video, this is it right here, 07 with 141,000. I got this 14 Focus ST right here with 100,000. an '08 Silverado with 138,000. And then I got this Yukon that I bought completely sight unseen. I saw it leaving the lane. It was so cheap that I just raised my hand because it was worth the gamble. For what I paid for it, if the engine was knocking, it was still worth it. '07 with 160. And so far, it looks like it was a winner. We're gonna work on getting these things back to the shop. Hopefully they make it. Here is our $400 Ferrari flip. We have great General Grabber tires. These things look like they were just done. We have a lift kit, grill, stubby bumper ends. This we're gonna bring back to life. I like the star on the hood. This is how it came in. This is how it looks after German buffed it. We're gonna stitch up that seat. It has no carpets on it, but the interior is in pretty good shape. We gotta do a windshield and get this piece for it. And then I think it's gonna be pretty nice. Weird that they took the carpets out. They must have been having so fun with this in the mud. So this is our $400 Ferrari flip. We're at a Jeep Wrangler now. The question is, this one is nicer, but the other one is newer and has less miles. So this is 147,000 miles. The other one's a 10 with 86,000 miles. So it's essentially worth fixing both of them. The other option is to take everything off the 10 that's rough and put it on this one. Like this one needs a windshield, a glove box, the top of the dash, the seat has a rip in it. We can take everything off this one and have one great Jeep. But you had a good idea already, so what was that?
I think we should make the other one like a temporary donor to bring this one up to spec, because this one doesn't really need much. And then everything that you can order, since we're gonna have to wait for it, you know what I'm saying, we could put it, everything that comes in new, we could start tackling the other one.
Perfect. The other idea that you said was the exact same idea that I thought. Here, we have a pretty good dent right here and a crack in the taillight. So my intentions were to pull this taillight out. So we're gonna replace these taillights. Pull this taillight out, pull this dent out, and aside from having to do any body work and paint, we'll get this rust off. We'll prime and just touch it up. And then your idea was the same as mine,
Yeah.
which was?
Get the diamond cut corners.
Yeah.
And cover it up on both sides, and probably upgrade the taillights, since we're still gonna have to buy them.
That's exactly what I thought. So diamond plate covers on both corners, and then the taillights go over them. And then this no longer has to be perfect anymore. And then you had mentioned it too. So we're pretty much on the same page with everything, because I was thinking, well, these just come off, pull them off, grind it down, touch it up, and then all the trim gets trimmed out again. And then we're pretty good with this, aside from safety inspection stuff. So this should be a relatively easy one.
You're probably too old.
German brought this up. We found this in the Jeep. Who knows what that is? A lot of you might be too young to even know what that thing is. Did it come with a key?
No, it didn't.
Sean, you knew what it was?
Yeah.
Tell me down below, what is that thing? And did you have one in the what, 91, 92, 93 era? So a couple hours in, the guys are actually getting pretty into the black Wrangler. German, what are you using for compound? Oh, Ultra Cut and then a cleaner? So here's one side, here's the other side. So this car actually came from Tennessee, so there's no rust, but obviously there was mud. Show me that again. Oh, geez. Here's the before. Remember what this looks like. Wow. I want to know your trick. How did you get this window to look like this? Because I know both sides looked like this. You guys can see the lines and scratches in it. What did you do?
A little compound. And get some out.
Now, you're getting your buffer, but if you get that wax on the top, are you going to get it off the top somehow?
Yeah, but it won't. Like, I'm gonna stay. I like my wool pad because it gives it more heat, and it's plastic, so.
like a mirror finish. Wow, what a difference. So if you do get it on the top, like the black top, sometimes the wax gets on here. What do you use?
Could just use the brush.
Power wash it, or oh, you brush it off?
Yeah.
Thanks. So there you have it. There's my Jeep Wranglers. I've ordered all my parts. They're gonna come in this week. I am super excited for at least the green one. The black one is a little iffy. It's making some weird noises, and I think that one might be a loser, but that's not even affiliated with the $400 project. But that is hazards of doing business in used cars. I'm gonna have to figure out that project completely separately. The green one, I think, is gonna be the moneymaker for me. So stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe down below. Do me a thumbs up so the algorithm picks up and starts recommending to other people, and then my channel grows, and then I can make better videos for you guys. You can also click a little bell down below. If you hit the bell, it'll give you notifications every time I make a new video. And you can go on my merch store with a link down below and get one of these hoodies. I have like baseball tees, hoodies, hats, all kinds of cool stuff if you want to wear that too. I'll see you guys all later. Thanks for watching.